Hello students, good morning. Welcome back to your 33rd lecture of English grammar. In our previous lecture, before two lectures, we had started our lesson number 13, helping verbs. Let's see what will we learn here in this lecture today. First of all, we revise the previous knowledge. In this topic, we will revise the rules briefly which we had learnt in last two lectures. Then more rules for to do helping verbs. This do form of the helping verbs we are going to learn today. Then explanation with examples for more clarity. Then we will do exercise to get clarity of the topic. In this exercise, we apply all the rules of the helping verbs. Means in this exercise, we have all the helping verbs are together. Then we can get idea there where we use which form of the helping verb. And then I will give an exercise for your homework. As we know that this lesson is related our previous lesson number 12, verbs. And we know very well that verb is an action word. It is also called the doing words because they indicate what the person do. What is the action done by the noun? And what are the helping verbs? The helping verbs always with the main verb in the sentence, and they do not shows any action, but they may have show a state of being or the possession. As we know that there are main three form of the helping verbs. To be form. In to be form, am, is, are, was, were are the helping verbs. And this kind of helping verb use with ing form of the verb. And sometime, as we learnt that in sometimes if there is no verb in the sentence and helping verbs like am, is, are, was, were in the sentence, then they represent the verb in the sentence. For example, I am a boy, I am a girl. So, no verb in the sentence. So, am represent as a verb in the sentence. Then, second form of the verb is to have form. Has, have, had are the helping verbs of to have form. These helping verbs do not show any action, but they show the possession of the noun. They use for the showing possession of the noun. For example, she has long hair. So has do not represent any action. And in this sentence, no verb but has shows the possession of she. So has, have and had used to show the possession. And next is to do form of the verb, which we are going to learn today. Do, does and did are the helping verbs of to do forms. Do and does, form of the helping verb, use with the verb with s, es and ies form, and did, use with the past form of the verb. So in present time, for present time, in do form, for present time we use do and does, and for the past time we use did. Let's see the table of the helping verbs which we had learnt in last two lectures. First is table of verb to be, am is are. Do you know and have you remembered where and with which noun and pronoun is, am, are is used? Let's see. Is, am, are is called the verbs to be. Am is always used with only I. Is used for he, she and it. It is the singular form of the pronoun. He, she, it are the singular form of the pronoun, and instead of this pronoun, if there is a singular noun in the sentence, then also we use is with them. For example, he is brave boy. So he represents one boy, right? So we use is. But if instead of he, if there is a particular name, Rahul is a brave boy, then Rahul represents only one noun, singular noun, then also we use is with he. And he, she, it, remember one thing, he, she, it is the singular form of pronoun. Now are. You, we and they. We use are with you, we and they. It means that you, we and they are the plural form of pronouns, and if instead of plural form of pronouns in the sentence there are plural nouns, then we can also use are. For example, they are going to school. We know that they use for plural nouns, right? If instead of they, students are going to school, so students also the plural nouns. So with the plural nouns we use are. Next chart, table of verb to be, was, were. Here we are going to revise the table of was and were. With which pronoun we use was, I, he, she and it. We use was with I, he, she and it. Means with singular form of noun and pronoun. And you, we, they. With you, we and they we use were, because they are the plural form of pronouns. So with a singular form of noun and pronoun we use was. And with plural form of noun and pronoun, we use were with them. Now, table of verb to be has and have. Have is used with I, you, we and they. Means plural form of noun and pronoun, we use have. And with singular form of noun and pronoun means he, she, it, we use has. Now we are going to start our today's topic, do form of the verb. Which are the do form of the verb? Yes, do, does and did. Let's get basic knowledge about the do form of the verb. Do form of the verb are also called the primary auxiliary verb. These verbs always paired with another verb to create complete verb phrase. Means do form is called the primary auxiliary verb, and these verb always with the another verb in the sentence. And we know that when more than one verb, if it is in the sentence, it called the verb phrase. So to create verb phrase, we use do form of the verb. They are helping the verbs that show what people are doing or what they have done. So do form of the verb helping the verb. We know that what are the helping verbs? Which verb helps the main verb to show the action or doing or possession, anything else, right? So do form of the verb helping the main verb to show what are the people doing or what they have done, means one kind of action which has been done and which is going on. Now let's see the auxiliary verbs. Which are they? As we know that, but there are two times, present time and past time. We divided auxiliary verb in two categories, present time and past time. Let's see which are they. Present form means present time, do, does. For the present time or present form, we use do and does. And for past form or past time, we use did. So which are the primary auxiliary verb? Do, does and did. Do and does use for the present time or present form, and did use for past time or past form. Let's learn where we use do. Generally, do is used for asking question or in negative sentences. It is never used in positive sentences. We use it with plural form of noun and pronoun while asking question or making negative sentences. Auxiliary verbs always used to ask the question or to make the sentence in negative form. We never use these verbs in simple sentences. In the simple sentence, the verb, the main verb, reflects the presence of auxiliary verb. Let's see the example and understand that why it is suitable to write auxiliary verb in the sentence or not. Let's see. We do speak English fluently. Here, do is mentioned in the sentence, but there is no necessary to write do in the sentence. So, this kind of sentence will be wrong form of the sentence. But we can write here, we speak English fluently. It is the right formation of the sentence. Here, speak represent the auxiliary verb. Means we know that we use do with the plural form. So without any changes, we write same verb with the plural noun and pronoun. So the auxiliary verb abstractly in the sentence. This rule we can apply same as we had learnt in our lesson number 12, that with plural form of noun and pronoun we write the root form of the verb. This root form of the verb represent the do form of the helping verb with it. Let's move on about does. Let's get knowledge about the does. Generally, we use does for asking question or in the negative sentences. But in positive sentences, we use verbs with some changes to show the presence of does in the sentences. As I told you that in auxiliary verb, we apply the rules as per our lesson number 12. As per when we apply the rules of the verbs, if there is a singular noun and pronoun in the sentence, we do some changes with the verb and write in the sentence, right? Same way here, does is not write directly in the sentence, but to show the presence of does, we change the main verb with s, es and ies, as we learnt in our lesson number 12. Does uses with singular form of noun and pronoun for asking question or make sentence in negative form. So we know that when we will change the verb with s, es and ies form, yes, if there is singular noun and pronoun in the sentence. Generally, we use do, does and did for the asking question or make the sentence in a negative form. If we want to write them in a positive form, for do. If we want to apply do in the sentence, then do affect the main verb. Same as does affect the main verb. So we need some changes. We have to do some changes in verb. The verb can be changed by adding s, adding es and adding ies to show the presence of does in the sentence, as we had learnt in our previous lesson. Right? Let's see the example and get idea how does reflects the main verb in the sentence. Rani writes in notebook. Rani is a singular noun, right? Writes means what is the spelling of write? W-R-I-T-E. So what we add? Yes, we add only S to show that write plus does, it means writes. Next, he cries very loudly. He represent one masculine gender, right? Cries is the, what is the root form of cries? Yes, cry. So we remove Y and add IES to reflect, to show the presence of does. So CRY, CR, we remove Y and add IES to make a presence of does in the sentence. So we add IES. Next is the girl washes her hands before eating. Here what is the root form of washes? Yes, wash. The girl represents singular noun, so we add es to show the presence of does in the sentence. Means wash plus does is equal to washes. This is the way you can understand that if in the simple sentence the verb with s, es and is form, and then if you want to ask question or want to make a sentence in a negative form, then you can add do, does to make an interrogative sentence or make a negative sentence. Let's move on. Now we will get knowledge about the did. We learnt where and when we use did. It is also used same as do and does in making question or to make a negative sentence. We can use did in past time with singular and plural form and both form of pronouns. Means as same way we use did to ask the question and to make the sentence in negative form, right? The only difference between do, does and did is do and does use for the present time and we use did for the past time, past form, and did use for singular, plural, nouns and pronouns. In positive sentences, we use past form of the verb to show the presence of did. To show the presence of does, we use s, es and is to the verb, right? We write the root form of the verb with the noun in for the show, for showing the presence of do. And in case of D, what can we do? We use the past form of the verb. The past form, what are the past form of the verb and how to make the verb in the past form, we will learn later. This is the basic information about it. We will learn deeply about this auxiliary verb in our next lessons, which are related to the tenses. Now let's see the table and get idea how and with which kind of noun and pronoun we use the auxiliary verbs, means do, does and did. Do. With do, I, you, we, they, and with plural form of the nouns in present time. Just remember one thing is, do never mention directly in the sentence, but it reflects the main verb. So whenever we use do, the verb is in its root form. Then you can understand, if the verb is in its root form and you want to ask the question or make the sentence in negative form, then you can ask the question or make the sentence negative with do not. Next is does. He, she, it, and with singular form of nouns and pronouns. In present time, means if the verb, remember only one thing is that if the verb is with its s, es and ies form, and then if we want to ask the question or make the sentence in negative form, then we will use does not or does to make an interrogative sentence and make a negative sentence. And did, all the form of nouns, means singular, all the singular form of the nouns, all the plural form of the nouns, and all the singular and plural form of the pronouns. But we use did only with the past times. Past time means which the action done, already done. This is the table, and I hope you will understand where and how we use do, does and did. Now our get more clarity and revise our all the rules, we are going to do the exercise. Let's see what is the heading of the exercise. Underline the incorrect helping verbs and write the correct helping verb in the given space. Let's see. In this exercise, we have to, when we read the sentence, then we get idea this helping verb is wrong. Then we underline them and we write the correct helping verb in the given space. Let's do the exercise. Number 1, students has new bag. As we know that if we want to represent the verb, we need noun. So here, how many nouns are there? Students means singular or plural? Plural. and new bag shows the possession, or for possession we use has or have. So for plural nouns or pronoun, which verb we use? Yes. So which is the wrong helping verb? Has is the wrong helping verb. And what is the correct answer? Have. Students have new bag. Next is Nancy are very naughty girl. Nancy represent only one noun. So is it possible for the one noun we use are? It is right or wrong? Wrong. So are is the wrong helping verb. So what is the answer? What will be the answer? Yes, Nancy is only one noun, so we use is. Nancy is very naughty girl. Does you has a holiday? Here two wrong helping verbs. Which are they? Does and has. So instead of does, we use with you have a holiday. I were absent yesterday. Yesterday means past time, and where is the wrong helping verb? So we underline where, and what is the correct? Was. Smita and Paresh is friends. Which is the wrong helping verb? Is, right? And what is the correct helping verb? What will be the answer? Are. Next is they was playing yesterday. Yesterday means the action is in the past time. So they represent the plural form. So was is the correct form of helping verb for the sentence? No, it is the wrong helping verb. So what will be the answer? Where. This is the way you can understand how attempt the question, this kind of question. You have to just underline the wrong helping verb and write the correct form of the helping verb into the given space. And as same way, you have to do your homework exercise. I hope now you have a clarity of am is are, was were, has have had, and do does did, where and how we can apply. Thank you. Have a great day.